you can register yourselves and then we can continue. But in the meantime, we'll just introduce ourselves. I'll start the microphone from this side, and then we shall all introduce ourselves until we reach the chairman. And since he has to give us a welcome remark after the introduction, when he gets the microphone, he will welcome us and also introduce his board.
To know that I could actually pay somebody to look after my goats, and I'm assured of a certain number after 1 year. I found it more convenient because even the little that had started, I was spending more than what I'm going to spend on Mushana. And moreover, the returns had also issues. But at least here, I can demand that for every goat that I invest in after 1 year, I'm going to get 2, which is really a very good thing. My only prayer is that we'll be given opportunity to buy more than 10 with time. Thank you so much. I'm glad to meet you all.
Kamanguza Vicky is my name. And I'm glad that I eventually learned about MCS and regret not have known 10 years ago when I was slightly able to be a better investor. I'm a retired tax consultant and completely retired from taxation. And now I'm also a director of food. I now supply food somewhere. And just to keep myself busy, really. But I'm also a farmer in a way, small farmer though, but because I don't have big space, so when I heard of this, I love goats. When I heard of this chance, I was so excited, and I'm like, so I have someone who can, exactly like she said, who can do this for us. Initially, I had ventured into farming. I had over, I think, a square mile of land, which I sold off and did other things. The reason was that people would just come and load, you know. You are there because the land is so big and the animals are not covering the whole place. Somebody comes and says they have stolen 50 cows overnight. So I woke up one night, took everything away, and built some things. That's how I ended up being into real estate, and that's why I love real estate, because it gives you peace. Nobody will come and steal your building or your land. So the reason I'm here is because this one gives me comfort. And I'm happy that I eventually joined, though I'm struggling because all my little investment was wasted because of not being so much of a business person when you are working. So you come out of office, you venture into things and things don't work, then you make losses. But we shall catch up together. And I love this wonderful team. It is so vibrant. It gives me that vibe which I like so much.
Here, but the reason as to why I'm here is I want to learn more about the MCS farm and what it's all about. Yeah, I'm a psychologist.
This project, why I love Mushana is like it gives you a goal for a future. You cannot see it, but it sees you. So there's a light, but you cannot see it, but you are going towards it. Why I invested in this project? Because basically it gives me return of investment that I'm foreseeing. Second of all, who are so much encouraged. I'm so much sorry that I'm not invested on some portfolios, but you encourage me, like, at least invest on some portfolio for Mushana to be there. So I'm taking it as initiative, because if I'm here, 2 people are represented. That's called Paddy, that's called Ronnie. So I've represented Paddy and Ronnie, but I'm going to tell them at least to do something about this, because I see it as something. Okay, I'm going to open their ears and eyes.
And I'm an investor in this goat project, and I'm happy to be here and see it progress from one level to another. Thank you.
Oye! MCS Farms, oye! Unfortunately, the vibe girl is again going. She's missing the interesting part. She's looking for network. No, it's fine. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is an exciting day here at the farm. We are so excited to see all of you here. We couldn't be happier when we got that today God has blessed us with our auntie, our mother, our investor, and our boss, Madam Helen. Let's give her a very big round of applause. We really thank God who has managed to, bring you all the way from the Belgium to Uganda, and not just any part of Uganda, but the most beautiful part in Uganda right now, MCS Farms. We thank God for that. Also, especially welcome all of you members. From what I was hearing there, a lot of people who are in this team have a very big profile, and we are humbled that in their bigness, they have come to join us as well, which means we are also doing something good, isn't it? I will not say so much at this juncture. I would like to, for the benefit of members who are still new or who are still not accustomed. Madam Helen is seeing some of us for the first time. Maybe let me even remove this so that she can see me properly. Hey, she's seeing some of us for the first time. A lot of times she has seen us over the internet when we are teaching and engaging our members. But I think I'm also not looking very bad. From what you see on the...
the launch of our coffee.
Of the coffee?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
You must have seen someone else.
I didn't know you were this handsome.
That we can rest in, a structure that we can call an office space. And generally, the infrastructure for our goats is magnificent. But behind all this hard work, there is even a group of people that is working even more tirelessly. And I would like to start by appreciating our MD. Please stand up for recognition. The MD is the modern day hustler. He's the one who is always running up and down, coming here, looking at the land. Will it be good for our project? We have traveled with him to, source for the animals. When we are importing animals here, it's a serious business. We want to bring only the highest of qualities. And I can also assure you that we have brought the best qualities that we have now at MCS Farm. And those beauties that you see there. So MD, thank you so much. Maybe he can introduce himself. I know he will come later, but he can introduce himself and then we can move on.
Okay. Thank you, Chairman. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jason Mugabe, and I work as MD. I'm happy to have you all here.
It's quite encouraging, but like I said, there is another moment where he's going to actually speak a lot more. I would also like to ask for your forgiveness. Please forgive me if you see me wearing my shades. My eyes are very photosensitive. So I can't maintain my handsomeness for very long under the sun. I have to cover it a bit. At this juncture also, I've started with the management team. The MD is the one directly in charge of all the staff and operations of MCS. And MCS Farms is one of the companies that is under his docket as the managing director. But also above the managing director, we have a team that oversees all the operations of the business. And that is the team that I'm about to introduce right now. That's the board of directors. We are happy that the board of directors is well represented in this platform. And for those of you who may not know them, would like to start showing them off. Starting right with the super lady, our wonderful treasurer, and yes.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Gloria. Yes, I'm the treasurer, like you said. I sit on the board. I'm a shareholder. What motivated me to invest in goats? Mostly is that I love goats' milk So I know the fact that I invest in it, I'll be having milk and yeah, and all the other benefits that come with it. Thank you.
That she has not grown fat. If she had grown fat, we would be suspicious that our money was. But one of our critical principles in MCS is integrity, and the reason we work as a team is so that we can have checks and balances. So you can be rest assured that all the resources that you invest in MCS are put to good use. So overseeing not only this project, but many other projects which are under the docket of MCS as a company. You're most welcome, Dr. Charles Babtunga, our head of investments.
Okay, thank you, Chairman, our MD, and to you, our dear investors. A very good afternoon to you all. My name is Dr. Charles Babtunga, and I work with the Mulago National Referral Hospital. At MCS, where we are today, I'm the head of investment, and that means that whatever decisions we make or whatever investments we intend to make, what we have so far witnessed and many more that we are yet to launch are under this docket. So we really put you first as our valued members, and we promise that we're going to have the best for the future. Because if you know our slogan is growing together. When we are growing, we don't want the MD to grow alone and leave us behind, neither the chairman or the head of investment, but we must grow as a team. Therefore, feel at home. And today we are going to launch this project officially. We share more. We love it more. You will ask questions. Your questions will be answered, so that even those who are not here can be inspired to be part of us next time. I thank you so much, and I wish you a nice party at this place.
His able leadership, together with the MD and the board all together, is the reason we are thriving day in, day out. This is just one of the flagship projects, but we have so many others that we are still working on, and others which are already in the pipeline. But for today, since we are here, we do not want to bore you with so many of the other projects. We want to concentrate on MCS farms. Now, this one is a big drum. The next one here is a big drum. Let us put our hands together and welcome our dear Vice Chairperson, Mr. Semfuma. He has refused to stand up. I think the handshake has, it has to be louder. So, I mean, your investors, please share a word with our people.
Good afternoon, our good investors. You're referred to as luxury farmers. See how you're seated. Look, see how smart you are. How can a farmer be as smart as you are? Thank you for being smart. Thank you for trusting MCS to manage your business, manage your savings. Like everyone has said, this is a dedicated team that if you trust us with your savings, you'll not regret. For the few projects that you've witnessed, I think you give MCS credit, and I think you should preach the gospel to all the others that fear investing because of time. You know, it's always the time that is put into investment. If you don't have it, you always have your money there, but it can't grow. But if you have a vibrant and a dedicated team like MCS, you rest assured that, yes, the savings will be there, and all the liability is on MCS. For you, you're always going to demand for accountability. So please, by the grace of God, I am your vice chairperson, working together with this vibrant team. And yes, we pledge to always put your money to good investment, and you'll appreciate it with time. Thank you very much. Feel at home. I am also, I've been inspired. I had not invested in the goats, but with what I've seen, I think I'm going to also put my small savings into this project. Thank you very much, and have a good time here.
Have professional and technical skills on this farm. You may be shown there is an office. You're most welcome. You're most welcome. We'll give you a moment to introduce yourself at a later time. Over here, we have a fully fledged veterinary drug shop, not a drug shop rather, but a drug unit, which is on the farm, and it is overseen by a qualified veterinary professional. So we are not taking any chances. We are ensuring that we have all the requirements that necessitate us to raise the best animals, because with this multiplication that we have given you, some people think it is crazy, but with science it is not crazy. Once you have the best genetics and you're taking care of your animals, they will continue giving you return on investment. Yeah. Quite a huge investment has gone into this place. We have a futuristic plan for this place, and in the near future we shall be hosting students, we shall be hosting government institutions, we shall be hosting businessmen, we shall also be hosting people from abroad who are coming to use this as a benchmarking or learning point. So you can see that we already have a projection of bigger things for this farm. We are already making partnerships of people who will be sending their people for even residential training, including also internships for our students. We shall be having all that here. Today we have started with a simple structure, but eventually, with God's blessing, we shall also have hostels for people who come here for agri-tourism. Sometimes you just want to come to the farm to smell that goat meat. As you are smelling here. It is therapeutic in a way. You come from the hustle and bustle of Kampala, the noise of traffic jam, the fumes, and you come here and it is a whole complete new environment. So that is also another thing that we are looking at, and we shall be looking forward to hosting all of you on this farm. It will be a getaway place where you just come and take the atmosphere in, as well as learning. Colleagues, friends, and our dear investors, this business that we are getting into today is a multi-million-dollar business. As I was meeting a few, like I said, I work in the Ministry of Agriculture, so I am privy to certain information from the ministry. And recently, we had a wealthy person in one of the Arab countries who was looking for goats worth $500 million. And even as a country, we could not make it. Are we together? Even as a country, we could not make it. And yet it is very simple mathematics. Once you have these goats, the minimum these goats are going to give you is at least 2 kids or 3 kids in every 6 months. The cost of management is very low. The multiplication is very high. So as MCS, once we have the factors of production like the land that we talked about, the 100 acres, we have the management system, we have the technical knowledge, we have the good breed, I am sure we shall be supplying those markets very, 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 very soon. And of course, the returns will be coming back to you as our dear investors. I can excite you that this is a business that will be comfortably, without stress. I had with pain my senior colleague saying, you know, people used to load animals and so on and so forth. And I am kind of testament to that. When I was in Mwiri at school, there was this young man who used to always have money and used to buy almost the whole school grab. For those of you who are in boarding, you know, break time, everybody was on him. A school of about 500 people, the man would come and say, you guys, chapati, chapati, chapati. Piece of land that he would comfortably go and load a fuss of animals and they would not even know. Of course, I enjoyed the money then, but when I realized how it was got, I felt sad. So this investment makes you rest assured that you are not going to have such occurrences on your farm, because you have a dedicated team that is making sure each and every animal is accounted for. As you can see, we have also taken our security here a notch higher. We have armed guards here, because what we are seeing here is gold. Those animals are moving, but that is money that is just moving around. So we cannot take chances with that. So we can give you assurance that your investment is well protected, from the systems to the animals themselves and to the environment. And we are just going to continue getting bigger. The structure that you see is a 400 goat structure. Some people call it our goat mansion, because it is designed very comfortably, because even the animals don't need stress. It helps them to multiply faster and also grow faster. So we are happy that our technical team, with the leadership of the MD, managed to put up a magnificent structure. And as you can see, our goats are not making noise. They are comfortable, they are happy, they are full. Everything is going, they are well treated. They have their salt mineral blocks available, the water is there, and the deworming is done on time. Ladies and gentlemen, let's appreciate the management team for pulling this off. I want to encourage members who have not yet invested into this project that this is a project for the future. Investments sometimes are very painful when you are making them. But eventually, after some time, is when you realize that, oh, the little money that I put aside has now grown into something so big. And you will only have yourself to thank. It is not a very romantic thing to always put away money. This 2.2 million shillings that we are asking is bare minimum. Bare minimum. For you to buy those 2 goats and pay management fees, it's bare minimum. For you to just sit in your office, worry about other things, and let our team handle the rest. So we encourage those who have not yet come. There was a sister, I think she's over there. She looks like a slave farmer. You know those slave farmers? One time at our ministry there, we were trying to promote agriculture. And then we came up with a concept that said, make agriculture sexy. How many of you heard that? You didn't hear that? Hey. Make agriculture what? Because the notion out there is that agriculture is for the uneducated, agriculture is for the poor people, it's for the peasants. But I'm happy to report here that 98% of the people, actually 100% of the people here are at the top executive level. And they are taking up these farming ventures very seriously. Yeah. So I want to thank you all for listening to me and for believing in MCS. Without you, we could not have grown to have some of these magnificent projects. So we thank you so much, and we welcome all new members. Please share with a friend. Don't be the only rich person. Yeah? They say if you want to go far, you have to go as a group. If you want to walk fast, you will go alone and you might end up in a ditch somewhere. So inform your friends, relatives, don't leave them behind. There's enough money to go around, and you can't most definitely finish all the investments that are here. So encourage your siblings, encourage your friends, encourage your colleagues to join us. I thank you, and I want at this juncture to at least give a chance to our members who have just come in. There are particular faces that are always in all projects. Our investor of the year 2024, let's encourage her again by hand clap. We are clapping for her, but the investment is hers. She will enjoy it alone, but we are happy that she's really doing a good job. Mr. Well on the investments. Yeah. 2021 2021 Investor of the Year. So you can see the team is full of investors of the year. So for those who have not yet joined us, this is home. It will pain me so much after 5 years when you are living in regret. These years run so fast. It is better you are running together with your goats. It is better when you are running together with your, as you are adding years, they are also adding numbers. That is the best way. Otherwise, the years run so fast and there is unfortunately nothing we can do to turn back the years. So investment is the only safety net for the future. I thank you all. Like I said, I wanted to give an opportunity to our new comers here.
Is this thing working?
Yes, for YouTube.
I trust my voice.
For YouTube, no. For you.
Oh, okay, sorry. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dan Tumuramye. I am a member of Mushana, MCS, and I'm happy to be here. Yeah, so this is my second time. Looking forward to contributing towards this investment. Thank you so much.
Please introduce our new friend.
Yeah, actually, Victoria Wanyana is the one who brought me here. Yes, so she's the one who, she's an old investor of MCS, yes. From the overshows, you'll know.
Okay. Yeah. Let's add him a round of applause together with Victoria. I think he must have been seeing
Mr. Tumuramye, Dan, and Victoria. I don't know why he has not said something about what we discussed yesterday. I was with them yesterday, and they are here on special invitation. They are our partners. They are strategic, and they are going to give us they are going to draw us a picture of what we are trying to look at, and we are going to be happy to listen to you.
Okay. Thank you for that.
And to our dear members, we continue to welcome you and to assure you that at MCS, we are making the right investments so far. I will just answer, we are supposed to answer the 5 Ws, but I will answer the first 3. Discuss who is eligible and who should invest in, the qualification, the limitations, the contraindications, the indications. The project coordinator and MD will try to tell us about that so that we are good to go. So that is first of all is that we always tell you that at MCS we are more of futuristic. When we sit or when you wake up at midnight or at 3 a.m., you want to follow the trend. So the trend is that when you look at the trends both in the agriculture and the economic sector, right now there are like 3 drivers of the agriculture sector in today modern world. Number 1 driver, which is a component of agriculture and where we think we should invest more of our money, is basically into goat farming, okay? Which we are going to articulate, understand, and we see. By the end of today, we shall have understood whether we should continue, whether we should multiply what we have, or whether we should stop from where we are, right? So I will focus more on this project, which is goat farming, in that you and I, whether you have invested or you are yet to invest, or you can even add more investment into this project, you are most welcome. So one, in our futuristic thinking and discussions, we saw that in Uganda, you can do number one, goat farming and get good returns on investment. Number two, you can do cocoa. Some of you, our investors, have started investing in cocoa. You see, if you check, cocoa is one of the other agricultural projects you can venture in and make more money. The other side one is coffee, omwani. Those who have joined us in the Nakasongora farm. You also say that at MCS we are also into coffee, but that will be a topic for another day. Now, the other question is, why should you invest into goat farming? There are 2 or 3 reasons. I will share with you mine, but I know we all have reasons why we have decided to invest into this project. Maybe if I may ask, who would want to share why you think or why you have participated into this goat farming? Anyone with an idea or a reason? Or why you think, why you saw twice, you said, okay, this part talking about goats. Either you eat goats, or you take milk, or you enjoy goat's meat, okay? Or you only want to feel that fresh sense or that fresh feeling of the goats before you, that you think you should be a goat farmer. Mr. Basil.
So the person before the project, that's one. Second of all, I had an interest on fish, on goats, because I know how they multiply. So the multiplication part also played a role. Basically, I know I'm into some money. Yes, I'm a futuristic guy. So you can see a bush there, but there's still a way. Which means if anything happens here, I can still get away. So I'm a futuristic. So I know that it may be 2.2, right? It may be 2.2 now. But I know in the next 10 years, I may be in some millions. I may be enjoying some whiskey somewhere without a problem.
Invested in goats. Thank you.
Thank you. First and foremost, I love goat meat. Nyama, that's one of the reasons. Jokes aside, I know the way these goats multiply. They are not like pigs or cows, but the rate of returns is big. Reason, I'm in the industry of buying meat, so I know the price of meat. So when I calculated having goats of myself and the rate at which they multiply, I found that it is brilliant to have MCS do it for me. I invest and I reap. As simple as that. Thank you.
Why we think everybody should invest into the goat project. And the reasons are clear. Number one, it has an economic sense. Investing in goat gives you an economic. What do we mean? Like she said, or even Basil said, that this goat, which we see before us, has the potential, or its genetics. It is supposed to give birth twice a year, which means every after 6 months, we expect this goat to give birth, which means be on an equilibrium, but also together with good management, you can stay, notwithstanding some shortcomings that can happen and decide a bit, okay? That's why when chairman was saying, when he was giving his communication, he said, at MCS, we ensure good management, good coordination to make sure that the return on investment that which is anticipated does not stagger, right? Therefore, we intend, or what we make sure is that this investment gives us an economic sense. You put in 2 million today, at the end of the year, you are counting times 2 of your But when we looked at goats, goat is one of the animals which are socially acceptable by many communities. Therefore, it is viable and it is a project for someone to do, okay? Not only social, but also it has a cultural benefit and a health benefit. That you are not only growing, I mean, you are not only doing goat for your own, but also you can eat, okay? For your health, you can take milk, you can take meat, and you can really improve your health when you are into goats. Now, these goats, another major factor why we think everyone should invest into this goat, it has what we call enormous market. Because you may ask, now, if I have my 100 goats, who will buy the goats? How will I get the money? Both national and international. The market is enormous. Our friend here told us is into meat buying, okay? Locally. And she says the meat we produce here is not even enough. Chairman says someone came with billions, wanted goats as the country couldn't supply. Then you also have our local consumption, which you can hardly satisfy. We also have international market, export, okay? We can also export beef. We can also export other products from our goats once we double our investment and we are good to go. Therefore, the market here is very enormous, not only in breeding, but also beef and other products from the animals we are doing, okay? Now, right now, this is the very time where we think we should invest more. And MCS, we shall keep on calling our investors, please invest, because the time is now, not tomorrow, not yesterday. I and you, who have seen the light, or who are like-minded people, we should be able to invest into our goats to make sure that we have good returns. Someone was saying that please tell your friends, tell your family, tell your colleagues, whether at work, whether at, in your circles, to make sure that they invest. So the who, just what we want here is that any person who is ready, or has some money, or has made some savings, please come and invest in this project, which has been well researched, and we think it can offer good returns on your investment. If you have maybe a son or a daughter whom you think of giving a birthday gift, why don't you gift him or her with 2.2 million? And you put the 2 goats on this farm and you wait and see. By the time they celebrate their 10th or the 15th birthday, how many goats will they be? Do you want to move by this curve, or you want to move by the sliding curve? Okay? So the question remains to you. It is for you to answer. So that when you are here, you know, I'm at the top. This is what we call the Maslow's hierarchy. I don't know if you have read it somewhere. Hierarchy of needs. Where some Ugandans are, they are at a level what we call self-esteem. Okay? Where you think you should stay You have achieved it, but you need to be at the top. But the problem is the maintenance phase. How do you maintain this? Is what matters. So therefore, if you come here and you say, now I'm the right person to invest in, at an opportune time, you are the very person to enjoy this. But if you don't, you will be here. At one time you were there, another time you have gone down. So dear investors, this is a call that I want to make, that each of us, let's have this song into our medulla, that Banang, there is a goat project at MCS. How many goats do I have? Okay? We were discussing with MD last evening that what we need to do is to venture more into meat export. But you cannot be having 100 goats and you start talking about export. No.
Well, our MD to come and tell us why we are here. Some of us are not sure.
Thank you, Daphne, our project manager. Yes, good afternoon, members, once again. Yes, I'm happy. I'm extremely happy to have reached this day. It is, how do we call it? It is a milestone. We are launching a big project, and we are looking at whatever we're doing here. Of course, our elder sister here, she's already in retirement. We are trying to prepare for a decent retirement. We want to enjoy our retirement, and we're trying to prepare. We know from introductions you had, we are not doing bad. Everyone here is employed, and we also have CS business people. When we started, it was also started by employed youth, and we are looking at how can we be able to invest and earn passive income. So the target market was young corporates and people in diaspora. That's why you see the quality of members MCS has. So we are not here to gamble, and we are doing something we have done thorough research about. I had a lot to speak about, but my speech is going to be shortened because yesterday I was blessed to meet very big people here. Well researched, and of course they have a lot for us to learn about this project. And of course they are going to open our eyes. Yesterday they opened my eyes. When you look at our breeds here, it is a good breed, like Chairman said. But if we added something small, we would be looking at maybe a goat with 100 kgs. I think these ones have like 25, 30. And they told me the reason why our goats are of this size. So we are going to change what we are looking at. We are going to change in our strategy, and of course they are going to help us do something better. We are doing something good, so we are going to do better. Of course, and I know most of you have invested in goats. We have just started. We are supposed to be having 700 goats on this farm. Yes, the investors who have invested in about 700 goats, and I've just shifted in about 100 plus. There are still few because we are just starting up and trying to put. This investment is unique. It is not like what everyone is doing, because most people have goats, but I doubt if they do something like this. So the reason why we haven't brought in the 700 goats, it's because we are still constructing the structures. These goats and what we are looking at, they need good pennies and structures to sleep in and rest or feed. We have to work on the feeders and other amenities that will give us what we need. Mr. Tumrami Dan will give us some of the ideas and what we need for us to have better breeds and genetics. So today we are here to launch our project. Launching means we are ready to start. And we're here to show you that we are ready and we shall do what you are sending us to do. We shall be managing, these are your goats. For us, our work is to manage on your behalf. And in that way, you will be paying what we call management fee. You buy the goats, but we help you manage them. And we have 100 acres here. Most of you own land here. You all know, MCS is a collective investment scheme. We come together, pool resources, and invest in different portfolios. And agriculture is one of our portfolio. We are investing in coffee, goats, and we're also looking at cocoa plus fish farming. So with the goat farming, we are looking at of course, you diversify. So we have a local market, and we are looking at also international market. Mr. Dan and Victoria will be helping us on that, opening our eyes on the international market. And of course, with our local market, you all know how much a goat costs. And from the speeches and presentations members were making, most people know how goats multiply. That one everyone knows. So if you know how goats multiply and you also know the market price of the goat, you know how much you're able to make in returns if it is well managed. So, but here, we have an advantage of taking advantage of economies of scale, of course. For example, some people don't own land here, but they're able to invest in goats, right? And also, when we look at such structures, I don't know, Daphne will be telling us how much you have invested in here. That means if you have started a goat farm, that's what you have to invest in. Huh? If you wanted to own, okay, I've said, but for you, you also need a farmhouse, you need a worker's house, you need amenities like a latrine, you need a goat penny, and also you need security. You may deploy dogs. For us, we have armed security, and we shall be adding more guns. But you also need to invest in such structures. So for starters, you have to first buy land. For example, an acre here is 20 million. That means if you have 100 acres, that's 2 billion. If you have to start a farm, you need 2 billion to come and buy 100 acres. Then you're also going to invest in whatever amount you have invested here. You see? But if we are going to invest about like 3 billion in this farm, but you as an individual, for you to invest 3 billion in a farm, how much are you looking at as your return on investment? It becomes tricky. But with power of coming together and, of course, taking advantage of economies of scale, everyone is able to earn a return on investment. And that's what we are looking at, working together as a group, taking economies of scale, advantage of economies of scale, to work together and seeing everyone happy. And of course, when we are building MCS, we are not just looking at money. We're also looking at socializing, growing in a group where you can always meet, share, have some fun. And of course, for us, we're going to be happy because we shall be having money. The fact that you have chosen this path, you are going to have money, of course. And we're looking at cash flow. Here and put it right, this is mobile money. When you have a goat, anytime you want money, you can easily get it. You can easily liquidate your goat. Just a matter of calling, they are called what? You know, when you are in the village, we used to call butcher, whether it's a, so you call a butcher or what? A butcher? So you call, Okay. So you just call the guy, please, you may sell it on a lower cost because it's emergency, but at least you get some money to bail you out, whatever challenge you have. So this is a good decision, and because we are looking at cash flow, cash flow is king. And of course, in retirement, what we need is passive income. you need cash flow, and you need liquid. Liquid in retirement is what you need actually in retirement. You only need money because that's when you are going to have every disease is going to be running after you. They are not going to come to you when you are stressing them. You don't have food. Yes, they will have you when you have money. If you don't have money, they will leave you alone. Men, doctor. Huh? People will leave you. Even your children, even your wife will run away when you are poor. When you are 70, she will travel, she will go and see the son or the daughter and leave you alone. So we need to have MCS. First of all, we have different clubs. Next weekend we shall be also meeting one of our clubs. It's called TGF. We're also trying to see that people bond, they socialize, so that at least we network and we have that kind of friendship. You have seen there are groups which started long way back, like BNI and this one is what? You definitely, your thing is what? Rotary. I've failed to join any of them because I see MCS is doing more of what they are doing. And of course ours is more better because make sure this one is not on record. But we need to socialize, we need to bond, and of course, and I don't think MCS has, you are seeing the quality of people you are going to be bonding with. So you can imagine you are networking, you have happy people. They're not going to stress you with their problems because they're also earning. They are investors. Instead of stressing, they will say, I need to sell 5 goats so that next week we can meet. But in meeting someone, I say, but please, I have a problem. Will you lend me 1 million? If you have a problem, you call the farm. They say, please, you sell 2 goats, I want 1 million. Because you have 1,000 goats. You get it? So you are going to be bonding with serious people. They are not going to be bonding or socializing with you because they have problems, because they need your help, but just because they need you to be around and be happy. Just be happy, start talking about the schools where your children are going, talking about the next investment. You get it? So that is what you need. And I'm very happy for everyone who has made it today. Sometimes for us, the way we've been doing things, you just put a date and you don't know how many people are coming. You even don't know who is coming, but you are sure people will be around. Because I was supposed to be presenting about the market, and I'm not going to talk about that. I'll ask Mr. Tumami to help me on that.
Good afternoon. Thank you, MD. Thank you, Director Investments. Thank you, Chairman. And Madam, I'm so bad in names. The MD has made me your Benny Hinn today. Everything, me. Yeah, but I'm very happy to be here. I'm very happy to be a member of MCS. Simply, I'm Dan Tumramye. I am the managing director of a company called Cheaper Cash. I don't know whether you know it. Yes, I don't know whether I have customers here. If we do, I give $100 for each customer. Yeah, so when the MD reached out, of course we've been meeting the chairman, and it's a busy schedule in managing such businesses. I'm very excited about goats. This gentleman talked about why, and most of you are going around the why. How many of you go to a food buffet and goat is there every day? No, it's there every day. You see, there's a buffet and goat is there. It's rare. When you dress up, my principle is that when you dress up, there's that exclusive thing you look out, right? Goat meat is the exclusive meat on the menu. Just for domestic. You understand? So when MCS started this idea, I was very proud to be part of it. Just on the strategic partnership point of view. And I have a lot to share, and I don't know that I have time. Yes. One thing that we will have to do right is that once you start, you have to set your principles and guidelines right. One of the principles you have to learn with commercial farming for goats is that goats don't have to move distance. You know why doctors tell us you shouldn't eat dinner after 9? It's because you eat when you sleep when you're heavy, and you sweat, that's when you get weight. Now, if a goat moves short distances and just eats, you work out what we call weight. He talked about a goat that is 50 kgs. Now, when we go into commercial business, we want to have an average weight of our goat, which is 40 kgs. Maximum goat I have seen is 80 kgs, so meaning average is 40. He said that our average goat weight now here is around 20, 25. And I beg to differ because I told him yesterday. He's saying 25 because there's a head, there's a horn, there's a skin. When they open it like this, it is 15. You understand? Now, that takes me to another, I don't know whether someone's taking notes. That takes me to another investment. We need to invest in the right breeds. Chairman, you allow me, we cannot have this session all through, but we are going to have pointers so that in the next meetings, we tackle item by item. When you invest in the right breed, you get the right productivity. Now, one of the breeds that we have in Kampala, and we were supposed to go, I think, last week, but all of us got busy. I'm going to take them to one of my friends and partners whose goat weight averagely is 50. Yes. What we are going to do is that, pardon? No, now with bonds. With bonds. Now I'm going to go on how you place germs and disease next to our animals, investor. That's the wrong position. But why I'm saying that room, we are going to have to change our accommodation for the goats in such a way that they are going to sleep. How many of us know how horses sleep? You understand? We're going to do double pit latrine size, and each will have 5 goats. Why? Because every time this goat is idle, it will just eat, drink, popo. Eat, drink, popo. But now, when our goat drinks, it goes and sleeps. It goes and chills. It's on a holiday. But we want money, isn't it? So we're going to change the accommodation and feeding of our goats. First, I talk about the seed we're going to get. We can start with placing 5 goats in, and we monitor. Or we can be deliberate as investors and say, let's take this breed. We say for the next 100, we are going this breed. Now, thirdly, on the feeding, we're not going to, guys, if we add up all the degrees we have here, I think Uganda will go in the right direction. But we're not going to feed the same grass we're giving them. We're going to invest in the weight grass. There's specific imported grass. This Minister of Agriculture knows. Now, what that means is that we are going to secure a minimum, I think, of 5 acres, specifically for that particular grass. Now, when that grass grows, we are now going to invest in what we call silos. We are going to make goat food. Why? Because you're putting this guy in the room, you have to pump him with food, with feed. You understand? So that is on the foundation. Once we get our foundation right, what I'm going to give you, the opportunities we have in the future, we shall be very perfect. Now, let me go to the numbers. Is there any question there on the foundation? No. It's better like that. Now, that is on the foundation. What are the opportunities? The opportunities are very exciting. Sir, can I grab this? Yeah, sure. Okay. I'm just giving you, I'm a Christian, and I believe leadership comes from the Lord at whatever level. Government workers are almost aligned. Yes. So I have a market. I'm not dreaming about it. I have a market called DR what? DRC. DRC is a market. What is that? It's a dollar market. In DRC, when a traffic man stops you, the minimum you give him is $100. Please don't record. The minimum you give him is $100. DRC's daily consumption of goat meat is 5,000 tons. Of goat meat, not meat. Goat meat. But their supply is just 100 tons. This is demand. This is supply. Where does MCS fit here? No, it fits somewhere. Supply. We are building to supply this by a certain number. A kilo. So 5,000 tons times 1,000 is 5 million kgs, isn't it? Guys, we need to get calculators now. A kilo of ordinary meat, also of ordinary goat meat, the way you walk to Rufla and they cut for you meat, is $30. We are in a dollar economy, guys. You understand? I am standing here to give you confirmation, whether you pay me or you don't pay me, that we should not do business the normal way. I told that man, that's why this man is calling me Benny Hinn, because he didn't want to go. He came for 30 minutes. We spent 2 hours. Why should MCS supply meat in Rufula? We have what we call, whatever you call it, me I've already called it. Not, me I didn't call it, you remember what I called it, but now let me say. Quality cuts. When you have anything, quality, value addition, this one becomes 50. As simple as that. Because you've done what? And you know what you've done? Two simple things. Now I'm going to the infrastructure of why me I'm not going to allow MCS to sell this at this, a kilo at this. What mathematics, for example, let's take a quick example. MCS is going to MCS is going to support DRC with, with 1,000 tons each month. Let's do the maths. 1,000 tons times, 1,000 tons times 1,000 is 1,000,000 kilos. Divide by our goat, we said is 50 kgs. Isn't it? How many goats do we need? 1 million divided by 50 kgs. 2,000. Eh? How many? 2,000. We need to cut, 1 million divided by 50. 20,000. Thank you. These are the kind of goats we need, guys. Now, this is multiply 20,000 goats. You understand? No, multiply 1 million times $50. Yeah. How much you get? 51. No. It's what? $50 million. This is the dream. This is the dream. These guys are telling you we just need 2.2 million. Which business in Uganda today gives you this money? It doesn't give you this money because you've not found. That's why I started with foundation. Now, how do we optimize? Another big thing is optimization. Guys, I'm too short, so we need to optimize our resources. 2.2 million is going to become 5 million when we start here. Why? Because the breed that we are going to get is a South African breed whose generational trend is known. We are going to, he talked about agriculture tourism. The guys who are going to sell us goats are going to come here and inspect. If they find this toilet here, they're not going to sell us the goat. I'm just giving you an example. You understand? Now, we need to optimize our resources. We need to, when you optimize your resources, then efficiency comes in. You understand? And then scale. Now, what is scale? For us to get these 50 kgs, this gentleman has been, I talked about the other unnecessary. When you do value addition, nothing is wasted on a goat. That's point number one. It's like chicken. When you do value addition, nothing is what? Wasted. Some of us who have traveled to China, if you go in the Chinese menu of chicken, there is the head, there is the feet, everything is there. You just do like this and you decide which part you eat, but you pass the head, because at my home the head, quality cut machine. That machine, one or two, has, we shall decide, it can have a capacity of what? What number did I give you yesterday? We called someone. It will have a capacity of 50 goats an hour. So they get in, they cut. Now, guys, I'm telling you 50 kgs. I'm telling you $50. This is normal beef. The ribs, our MCS ribs, are going to be $80. You understand? Because the rib is different from beef. You understand? Liver is different from beef. So, in value addition, you decide the layers, the product lines that. When we have that cutting machine, it will cut the ribs, clean them. It will cut the beef, clean it. It will cut the liver. The farm can enjoy the intestines. We don't need those. You understand? So this is the kind of model this is Ugandan market. Yes. The only challenge with the Ugandan market when it comes, this lady talked about it, when it comes to distribution, is that the Ugandan market is a credit market. It is a 45 days credit. The Congolese market is a cash market. You understand? So where do we go? We have to decide. Do we go Uganda? Do we go? So we need to go somewhere. I talked about the Confida man. The gentleman is going to, the government of Uganda is going to invest a minimum of 200 billion in road construction in Congo. and if you look at the budget, the gentleman himself put on task the General Katumba Wamala, the Minister of Works. Where is my money? I want the road. Now, that is wisdom. You understand? God has given this guy wisdom of Uganda is a hub. How do my people MCS tap into that opportunity? You understand? He's like, Uganda is a hub. That's why he says a fool in Uganda can eat food. No, can eat food. He says eat food. You understand? Uganda was one of the, sorry, I divert, but Uganda was one of the best top 5 performers in COVID. Best top 5 performers. The president did not give food to any district outside 100 kilometers from Kampala. You know why? Because he knew these people are fed. These people are wasting food. You understand? So sorry for the diversion. So we need to be saying, I consume, I think a week, we consume 20 kgs of goat. So it means I'll be the first customer because I know where the goat is coming from. You get it? But we can only do that by branding. Now, marketing is going to be another key element for us to make us stand outside the normal market. Then, of course, last but not least, we are going to invest in I told him we're going to invest in two delivery trucks. And these trucks are going to be fully refrigerated. This place is going to change. It's going to be an abattoir because we don't want again to leave. The moment meat leaves here, it's international market. The moment it goes out here, it's international what? Market. So in a nutshell, like I said, we cannot complete this presentation today, but we can only agree and say for every session, let's tackle one area. Now, the first area we're going to tackle is the foundation. Let's get the foundation right, and then we can proceed. So I can take some questions.
When I was looking at these goats, I was also trying to calculate how many goats am I going to have for how long, and where is the market, how many kilos per goat, and if I have 9 goats and each goat has 15 kilos. Those are the figures that were coming to my mind. But you have alleviated my fear. You have answered my questions which I had in my mind. Thank you so much. And
you say the lavatories.
Yes.
What's wrong with them?
You see, like I said, you are fumigated, your car and yourself.
Yes.
Why? Because the assumption is that you want. Today, people buy, I think, a liter of dog poo. A liter at 50,000 of dog poo. You see, when you build a tramp, when you guys, sorry, you're eating. When you build a channel in the foundation, we're going to build a channel where all dog poo goes. Goat poo goes. Now, where it settles, it ferments and creates what they call gas. The reason why people buy it is because it's the best for coffee. You understand? Now, that, if you build a very good channel where it goes, store it, sell it in trunks, you understand? We are not losing value. That should be enough to pay the workers here. Now, I think I forgot to tell you, Mr. Chairman, one of the key trainings we need to give our staff here, once we start investing big, we need to get a daily tracker of weight. Yes, of weight. He needs to tell us, Chief, this goat came in, born with 4. We are remember that graph that gentleman drew? We need a graph for weight. You understand? You need a graph. This is age. This is weight. We need this. At this point of 50, you get out. You understand? If there's stagnancy of a goat at 30 kgs, we change our feeding. Feeding. Yes. Or we change the stuff. Uganda. Fana nangine ana. You won't do like that. You won't say, that one looks like it's ready to go. No. Because I said the principle is age. You understand? At a particular age, you came at let me say, year 1, you are 10. Year 1 is even long. At 3 months, a few months, 3 months, we do quarters. We can decide for now to start using. They check every week, then they give us a report. Now, developed countries do that digitally. What they do is they put tags on each goat. You understand? They can tell how much each goat has eaten, how much it has slept, and when it's ready to get out. You get it? But for us now, we shall use our manual way. So meaning, we're going to build, part of the infrastructure, we're going to build a weighing scale, a weighing room. You understand? They get in, taps it, gives a report, 10. So we can do it one.
Talked about the foundation, and you talked about introducing good breeds. Maybe if you could go back to, is it possible that we can work on the feeding and still attain the kilograms, the live weight gain that we need for the goats that we have, like now, the ones you see here, or we have to specifically get a different breed, because we have quite a good breed, and I think if the issue is the issue only feeding, or we really have to intentionally get a different breed, or is it something that you want to monitor and say, okay, if at this age this goat hasn't gotten, because you say the factors are both breed and also feeding, they correlate. So if I have to attain, I assume if I have to attain between 35 to 45, I may need to feed a goat between 6 to 10 kilograms every day. So if I'm able to effect that, or if I'm able to make the staff effect that, can I still achieve that dream, especially if, you know, now I'm working on the kids that's just coming in, or even with these ones that I already have here? Thank you.
Do this in pilot phase. This first pilot is already Uganda based. It's going to be domestic. What we have to do is we shall just optimize so that we get value out of them. But going forward, when we agree, that's why I said we cannot achieve everything in this meeting. So the MD proposed that we shall be getting boardroom sessions where we don't, when we come to you next time, you're going to be looking at where we were. This gentleman was asking where the W's, where we were, where we are now, and where we want to go. So that this will give you, so to your point, even if you pump these ones with food now, you understand, you cannot get weight out of them. Why? Because you did not decide, you did not get the right seed. If I look at these goats here, averagely, they are from a minimum of 10 families. The other one will be one family. So let me take an example. If he is a Mnyankole, is a Musheshe. You are sure that he will have a Ntumbwe, he will have a hip. You understand? From childhood, you feed him as that. If he's a Karamojong, you're sure that he will be tall. You understand? He will be fast, he will be light. So now what you're asking me, you've put a Musoga, a Muchiga, a Munyankole, a Muganda, and you're asking me, can I get a Musheshe? Yes, out of this United Nations. So I'm not saying this is wrong. This is very right. But guys, the day we are going to decide to make that move, and the day is tomorrow. In fact, it's today, sorry. The day is today. You guys are going to enjoy your goats. Because you're going to see a goat that cannot walk and you think it's sick. Why? Because you're looking for? You understand? Today you'll be in selfies. I have so many goats. But when we bring a weighing machine here, you'll be like, oh my God, I thought this one always fooled me. You get it? So the foundation is what? Is key. So to me, we can work towards getting value out of this. But you see, when you go into investment, you have to have what we call one-time value of money. You understand? And you have to have a payback period. Yes, goats have multiplier effects, which is good. But we need to know, and Chairman, I think it comes from your investment. We need to tell people, look here, how many of us invest in bonds? Treasury bonds, yes. We are sure that for every 6 months we get interest. Don't wait for, we are not doing this for luxury because Dan has X number of, this gentleman talked about a birthday. For every birthday, Dan gives his wife a birthday gift of a goat. So his wife has 100 goats. No. We want that for we decide our return on investment. We say for every year, guys, we are waiving off 100 goats. This is the value each one is going to get. You understand? I also talked about with him, we need to work on the age. You understand? You know, this guy came in June. June every year is either going out or staying. Now, we also need to look at how do they call it, Chairman? It's a project in government. Fattening. Yes, cow fattening. But now we are going to do it for goats, for male goats. You understand? We are going to make sure that all our male goats eat differently from the female. You understand? Now those ones will be going out every year. Or every 6 months we have 100 goats getting. Now when people see money, You understand? When someone says, I paid 2 million in January of 2026, just in a corner I am getting 200,000, but my goat is still there. You understand? So the return on investment has to be very critical.
I also want to take this opportunity to thank MCS. For I don't know how they linked up with you, but the problem is also a member. I think he's a valuable member, MVP. So we should tap into his exposure. No. Chairman, you've contributed to this. So I think one of the challenges that we have been having as Africans is this lack of information. When I started investing in bonds, I didn't know about it. I read it somewhere, and I got to know about it.
That's for the X class.
But like what you said, something that you can invest in, every after 6 months. If you're to get a bond of 5 years, after those 5 years, this will be your return. Whether the government is not there tomorrow, whether someone has died tomorrow, that will be your return. And I want to thank you that you've sort of shown us another way of thinking that once we invest, we should be now looking at that. Not the number, but you might have 10 goats. Yes, the paper, you might have 10 goats, but if they have 50 kilos, this is what you'll be able to get. You're actually better than someone who has 100 goats. For instance, 100 goats. With unknown weight. In Karamoja, okay, sorry to say this. In Karamoja, you can find a crowd of over 10,000.
10,000 cows.
Yes, 10,000 cows. But if you put it on the market, you can't drive any investment from. You can't drive any economic benefit. So I want to thank you for that. Thank you so much.
Congratulate to have you. Once you introduce yourself, you introduce yourself as cheaper cash. But the knowledge you are giving us is money.
Cheaper cash is money.
No, I know it's money, but it's not towards goats. It's not agricultural. No, I'm happy to know that. So the first thing that I want to ask you, you are teaching us towards the right direction. And then I think at this point, I love the way Johnson introduces his projects. Okay, not his projects, MCS project, because it's no longer Johnson's project. You have to learn, you have to make mistakes, and then you have to approve them. You have to know how to scale. I've been sitting next to her. She's sharp, like you. Some question that I wanted to ask you, she has already answered me by just whispering. But the thing is, at this time, I think, okay, not to be selfish, but I think the investment we made it was too low for this project.
For the dream we have.
Mm-hmm. And where we want to be. As I told you, I'm a visionary person. And whatever you have talked about is like we have made mistakes that should be rectified. And if it's not rectified now, then there are scale mistakes. So, as you know, scale mistakes are more expensive. We are happy to have you. And it's like you have done this before. You know whatever you're talking about. And whatever we are going to, you are the best person to help us. Mushan is always having angels. I don't know how. If you check, if we had the AGM, angels just came to us. Now we have goats farming, angels are just coming to us. You are like, because for me, trust me, if you are to start a fish project here, I'll tell you, do this, do this. I'm also an angel now. But for you, you are an angel in towards goat. I don't know anything about goat. You get? But the little that you have shared, at least I have an idea. Because for me, if I'm investing in this thing, I'm investing towards profit. But this is where Johnson will come to me and tell me in my inbox or something, hey, Sebo, I think you should add some 600K, or I think you should add some 1 million towards your investment. But I'll not know why. But whatever you are addressing, it's the challenges. And why we are investing in this thing is towards avoiding such things, because we don't want, like, for me, if you tell me it's 2 million, it's 2 million. I'm a man of my words. If you tell me it's 2 million, it's 2 million from the start to the end. Wherever challenges that I get, whether my 2 million go to 3 million, I'll figure it out. But your knowledge keeps an eye opener towards this project, and I love it. I love about it. And then the only thing that you can help us with, I don't know whether it's on. Okay, I'm not on a board, so I don't know whatever board talked about. But whatever we are headed towards is like this project's visionary. This project is value-wise, it's correct, and then we have to make it work. How can we make it work? Tell us the mistake that we make. All of us are adults here. We have made mistakes in our life. So if you make a mistake in a goat, it's just a simple goat. So why don't we invest more or something? You have Museveni in your pocket. You know Musevenomics? Why? He knows that food security. You go and look at, President was speaking in Russia under the African Global Summit. And the only thing he talked about Uganda was food security. We produce these tons, these tons, these tons. On your export, once it is a circle doing goat farming, it will have all the exemptions it has. Every machine I told you we are going to import is zero tax if it's coming from a circle and agriculture. What does that mean, Chairman? Apologies. That means we need to restructure our incorporation by making sure a circle comes in, goes into agriculture. We draw the line. I told him I'm going to get him a tax consultant, the guys that work on our budget, and then with you. And then everywhere is going to tell us is how we shall move. If we're buying a car, put that word. The title should be, Sako is buying a car for goat, zero tax. Not individual, not, what's your name? MCS. And the MDs are under. Once we structure that very well, the cost of our operations are going to be swift. You bring in all kinds of machines with the element of it is a circle doing agriculture. You understand? So I just wanted to hint on that tax issue. But, Chairman, I told him yesterday, we talked a lot. My wish is that whenever MCS puts a foundational stone, that one, you should build community impact. Please, let's build community impact. We can only build community impact by doing very basic things. When we start, guys, I've told you, our target is 1,000 tons per month. If our undertakers cannot produce 1,000 tons, we're on a square mile. When you do community impact, you do outgrowers. You know why Busoga is sugar canes? Sorry, the sugar cane prices are going low. I have a farm in Fort Potro, but when we bought it, it was full on tea. Today, all of you know the price of tea. You understand? A kilo of tea with, you know what it means to get a kilo of processed majan? It's just tons of, just 300 shillings. 300 shillings. So, but when you do community, the reason why everyone in Busoga is doing sugarcane, because Madivani has the factory. MCS is going to have its own factory here for meat. But we can only do that by making sure we give out some seeds. We give out good breeds to the neighbor. Give them the small principles of when you keep this breed, like feed it like this,
I am your customer, I'm going to buy it from you. Me, I know where I'm taking it. You're going to have goats on a square mile. Why? Because you've done community. I need to see, guys, when someone makes 10 years, that's not small. Yeah. Now we are adults. That adult should have a community school. You know, guys, this man works for government. Do you know what government calls we launched a school? 2 blocks of this size. We launched a school. MCS. When we are giving dividends, let's tell people, guys, 1% is going to the community. Why? Because, guys, when you have good CSR, what I've learned with my investments around community, they become your source of security and your source of free raw material or cheap labor. But when they see these cars as coming and we didn't stop somewhere, and you get it? Imagine MCS tomorrow. Let me give you a task to the end of this year. All of us members tell us to give you, people call it old clothes, but me, I don't give old clothes. Tell us to give you clothes you've not put on in 2025, to give them to you. When we come here, we give out only those clothes. You watch. People will tell us, no. Sir, this man can rent you 100 acres for 1 million a year. Why? Because you sow a seed. You get it? So, Chairman, one of your mantles should be, objectives, it should be CSR. We can achieve this. And when the voice gets to, because you see, Chairman knows how the people who get government handouts or rebates or financing only do that because when the ISO goes down and says, how is MCS in that village? Those guys are fire. They just make one call. Leave that meat to go Congo. You understand? That's why I started with Uganda is a free market economy. So any other question?
I don't know whether my question is yours. As an investor, I haven't really had the money in my pocket as an individual. And for instance, listening to where we are going, for example, we are saying we will have our 50 goats of 50 kilograms every month. He has his 3 goats, I have my 1 goat, 10, 20. How are we going to manage that money of the investor? I think the investor, at the end of the day, it's money that comes in the pocket here.
I want to thank you. You have actually excited our people here, and they are now looking at the bigger picture and forgetting where we are. Now, no, not in a bad way. Not in a bad way. It is good because even me, I'm very excited. Now, when you meet Dan here and you talk to him, you feel like you're a billionaire. Now, there's another gentleman we used to meet up to late in the night. I think the 3 of us mostly, called Lieutenant General Idro, who works with who's a direct aide to General Salim Saleh. Now, when he starts talking economics of business, you don't want to leave. So those people open our heads. But let's remember, when we were selling this product to members, what were we saying? Purchase 2 goats at 2.2 million to get what?
6.
At the end of the year, isn't it? Yes. What he is telling us is futuristic. Yeah. For now, you already know how you are going to get your what? Your dividend. Yeah? When we get to that phase, it is the 6 goats. So whatever comes out from the 6 goats, that is yours.
6 and 50.
Yes. It's clear now. So now what he's telling us is when we get to the next phase of now the commercial element, the market economics, what he's telling us is, or rather what we are doing now, when you get your 6 goats, you can either reinvest it in MCS, or you can sell them, or you can even take from Muchomo. But since we are in a business, it is better to either multiply it or sell. Isn't it? Now, what he's telling us, that after we have finished with this phase, we shall again come back to you. After doing a lot of boardroom discussions, what do we need to achieve the other 50 kilogram animal? Then we shall say we now need a processing facility, we need transportation, we need government input here and there. Then we come back and say now, for us to achieve that animal that we talked about of 50 kgs, we need A, B, C, D. And the costing for that is going to be this. Something like that. Yeah? Yes. That's why I'm saying he has done very well to open our heads for the future. But right now, the most important thing is we are doing very well for this. And with your 2 goats, you are definitely going to get the 6 at the end of the year. Then we continue building and building and building and building. That's why, again, I encourage all of us to continue talking to as many people as possible, because it gets easier when we are more. The more we band together, it becomes easier. I think MD brought it out really nicely and said, for you as a person, you need about 3 billion to just have what we have here. As a person, now how many of us have that money? But as MCS, you are tapping into that. So when we come back with a 10 billion project, which will earn us $50 million in a year, then we'll need to also have other discussions. That is my humble take. Yeah. So I don't know, maybe you still have some closing remarks?
Asking, yeah.
And I'm called Namara Eunice. My colleague talked about me joining MCS. However, you've not told us what it takes for someone to join. You're encouraging members, join, but you've not talked about how.
Because it means now the spirit has entered. So the MD is going to give us.
Yeah, thank you. I think we have a few minutes. Mr. Dan, we have a few minutes so that head of this project can also talk.
So, but thank you very much for your time, and thank you very much for listening to me. And we look forward to having this dream. So the dream, it's a reality. My last take is that let's multiply this number. Let's open up new markets. But then let's also, he talked about, MD talked about the next projects. He talked about coffee, cocoa, goat, right? Fish. My assumption is that we'll replace 1 or 2 of those with avocado. Has avocado. So I'm going to tell you why. I'll tell you why when we meet, so that in your next year's projection, Chairman, we have avocado lined up. Why? Because for it, its next neighbor is Kenya. You understand? Yes. We're not going even outside Congo. We're going to this neighbor. Yes, they come here and they buy $1. All of us are we are not Ugandans fully.
Business phase. This one is a learning phase. Now we are talking of having like 100 goats, and yet the subscribers are like 700. So my thinking in my head is that we should have a ceiling and say like 2026 in June we are going to stop this phase, and from now to 2026, maybe June, we are planning for that phase 2. But now my question is, what are we going to tell the 600 who have not benefited from this? Because this one should, I don't know whether it is going to remain as a project of its own and the other one becomes project 2, or whether it is going to be phased out.
Mr. Dan.
And Chairman, I want to answer your question. You said we are going to have, people have invested in goat farming. We have the numbers. We also have the numbers of the goats. The goats we are investing in are called Savannah and Boer. However, what Mr. Tumrame is saying is to improve our breeds. And what we do when we are improving the breeds, it's a matter of getting the bucks. We can import a pure, maybe Savannah or Kaharahari or Boer from South Africa and come and improve our goats here. So we don't need to do any other phase, but just improve on what we have with numbers we just increase the percentage. Eh? It's very hard to get 100% of those breeds, but at least when we get a pure breed, a bulk which is pure, it can improve. Then also work with what he told us, zero grazing. Now with that, that's where now the issue is, the structures. But still you start small. You don't start, it is capital intensive to do what he's saying, but when we are making money from the goats, and with business, by the way, it's better to improve as you are earning. At least you work with what you are earning, the returns. You reinvest some percentage and enjoy a certain percentage. So to improve our breeds, we shall do that. It's better now that we have this information, and we shall be improving the breeds. The mistakes made, those are small mistakes. Of course, we was talking about the latrine. Of course, but are you aware that people can do all over the 100 acres, but we need to have a field. This land here, you are unable to see the view of the lake, but the lake is just there. And of course, when you see water, you are going to feel something different. So we're going to have a number of structures. We have to separate the goats. For example, the males have to be separated from female, the nannies, the kids. Then we have to have a sick bay. You get it, eh? We have to have pregnant mothers. Yes. Yeah, you have to have a sick bay because sick goats have to be separated from. So you can imagine, we are going to have, you see this structure here? We are going to have like 20 of them in different locations because they have to be separated to manage diseases, to manage inbreeding. So don't worry, we're just starting. We are launching. When you're launching a project, it means you have just done 1% of it. Like he said, when the government...
And I'm going to do you a favor and not say much. Unfortunately, I'm a marketer, both by profession and by practice. And I'm also doing chartered marketing. But I will try by all means to, because literally everything that I wanted to say, everyone has said it. I wanted to talk about what we are doing here. The MD has already talked about what we are doing here. He has already highlighted the issues that we need to work on the goat farm, the toilet issue, and improving our breed, which definitely these are the steps that we said we are taking on, that we are doing. Because as a launch, as you can see, we have launched this. It means that we are taking baby steps. But because we have very, 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 very smart people in our midst and very informed people in our midst, I don't think these baby steps will actually be baby steps. We shall be moving fast because we have the information that we need, and we also have the expertise and the people that, you know, that can get us to the place. Because at the end of the day, it's people. Like he talked about a CSR strategy. At the end of the day, it's people. You look at those people that we met on the road, or people that have their small houses here, and you're thinking, how can these ones contribute to a project like this? But there's a lot they can contribute to a project like this. Goodwill is very, 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 very important. Someone can even say, we want to go to this farm, and someone from there, just a random border guy can say it's closed, you know? And that's an investor that you have lost. But because you don't have that goodwill, that border guy cannot, you know, put in a good word for you. Same goes to hotels, same goes to literally any business that is out there. So for me, first of all, I would like to introduce my team. Most of them have gone to graze because, I mean, it's a farm. Chances are the people that work here are going to be grazing. So, Brian, maybe you can call those that are around so that I can introduce them to the people here. Bigger, still that percentage of what you put in is what you're going to be getting. That is why for me here, I'm here to tell you that the more you put in, the more returns you get, you know. So it's more advisable. They say, yes, start small. Yes, you can always start small. But if you see something this promising, take out a loan and invest, you know. If you see something this big, a dream this big, don't wake up tomorrow and say, oh my goodness, I did not look at this. I only had 2.2 million. I only could afford 2 goats. Do you understand? But someone who has invested in 10 goats is reaping millions of money. So you might say, oh my God, but that is small money that I'm getting. But if you're making over 40% return on investment in a year, tell me which bank you're going to put that money and it will give you over 40% every year. So at the end of the day, we need to think about putting in more. This is our farm. The capacity is there. Please buy as many goats as possible. So I'm going to introduce my team here. We have Bran. Bran is the one who oversees this whole area. I'll give them a microphone, each one of them. They introduce themselves and what value they are bringing to the farm. And then I will proceed. Please, Bran.
Good evening, everyone. I'm called Kahimba Brian. I work with MCS as the operations manager. Thank you.
Good evening, comrades. I'm called Taka Francis. I work on this project as a doctor.
Good evening, everyone. I'm called Nawera Davis. I'm the manager of this farm.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Naman Amrit, and my name's the structures here. I'm the engineer.
Okay, so before they go back, thank you very much for coming. But before they go back, since we all are here for our goats, maybe some of you have questions, especially those who don't know how healthy goats look like. Our doctor here, he's the one who received the goats. He's the one who knows, he has been the one who is vaccinating the goats. He tracks them. You see this book here is the track record for all the things that they do here, how many goats they have, the healthy ones. You know, they were talking about creating more pens, houses, because they talked about a sick bear and someone laughed. That's how you control disease on a farm. If some goats are sick, they don't have to sleep with the rest. You have to create a designated place for them. Maybe he can also tell us or assure us what is the health of the goats and, you know, if you've had any challenges. Thank you.
Yeah. Neyanza. Wetu bansamba nyonyole bulungi mu lulimi Uganda. Mutegeero bulungi. Yeah. Yeah. Nebaza Musana Cooperative okumpa omulimu guno. Omulimu ogw'obulungi naddala embuzi mulimu mulungi. Ziriira watono zikola amagoba mangi. Kubanga wano ku faamu embuzi zino zolaba ze tulina. Embuzi weba ogina ng'ogiguze ng'oguze embuzi 2. Embuzi 2 mu myaka 3. Embuzi zaffe zino mu kusooka zizaala embuzi emu. Emirundi egiddako zizaala embuzi wakati we 2 ne 3. Kitegeeza bw'oba ofunye embuzi eno mu myaka 3 ng'olina embuzi 2. Zino ziba zizadde emirundi 4. Wana wasooka emu katukize nti n'ogatako 2 emirundi 3 n'emu ziba 7. Galaki ekirala ekyokubiri nti embuzi zino tuzifuuyira buli wiiki 2 buli okuzifuuyira obutaleeta bulwadde ngumu omusaayi guno mugumu. Kasi tumala okuba nga tuzigemye trips kipumpuli nagana nagana ne tuzigema obwo obumwamwama foot and mouth teziddamu kulwala. N'olwekyo nange wadde ndi musawo nsuubira nange bagenda kuŋŋamba omungu nange njagala kufuuka memba.
Okola otya two questions. Okola otya obutakola loss because ono alina amayembe yafumisa ono ali olubuto azaala wiiki ejja ne luvaamu. Kyekisooka. Ekyokubiri obuyana So how do you call young goats?
Kids.
In Uganda, the kids.
Kids.
Eh, Nkuma. What is the bottle feeding? Zinamata.
I'll give you a few reasons. Why should you invest with MCS? You know, because probably there are so many people out there that are probably doing something that cannot be the same. I mean, we are MCS. I would not even want to compare us with anybody, because what we do is we ride highly on transparency. Most of these farmers, they want to tell you, but for us we show you. Why? We'll even bring you here, you look at it. If you realize that where we have put a certain structure is not where we're supposed to put it, you bring in your input, and as a farmer you have a big say, you know. And then also you take advantage of economies of scale. The MD talked about putting up structures like this. If you are just a single farmer investing in land, we are sitting on 100 acres, and we bought each acre at 20 million. So you're looking at 2 billion Uganda shillings. So if someone is to put up a structure, if someone is to put up a farm like this, you would need a lot of money, but you can only achieve it if you are part of a family. So a community that is thinking together and is intentional about growing together. We have spent about 100 million on the farm already. With these structures, you see how beautiful our structures are, with the structures over there and the structures here and the staff and each and everything that we have done here so far with these goats that we have. So meaning that if we are looking at about buying about 500 goats, you know, and that's 600,000 per goat. You're spending 300 million, you know, just on buying goats and bringing them on the farm. So these are big expenses, which as a person or as an individual, you may not be. If we are to actually tap into the kind of business that he has put in, you cannot do it as an individual. First of all, he talked about being a circle or being a group or an organized group. That's the only way you can actually be able to hit these kinds of markets. And even as a group, we still feel like we cannot supply those markets. And then we have to be nice to neighbors so that we can actually get outgrowers. Do you understand? And also the reason we also have to be nice to the neighbors is because you have, for security, you know. This is, your initial investment is 2.2 million. I'm going to buy these goats at 1.2 because each goat is 600,000. So I am going to have management fee of 1 million. So initial investment is 2.2 million. So I am telling you that at the end of the year, I'm giving you 6 goats. Let's say you decide to say, okay, I'm going to run away with my goats and I'm going to sell them. The best you're going to make here, these 6 goats, you're going to sell them at, let's say, 400,000. You know, he was saying that we are, yes, because we are selling these goats for meat. When you're buying these goats, the reason we bought them at 600,000, these are mothers. And some of them are first-time mothers and they are pregnant. That's why they told you that they have already given birth, and yet we just bought them the other day. So that's why they are more expensive than what you are actually going to sell on the market for beef. So if you buy, if you're going to sell, you're going to look at between 400 and 500, but we want to look at 400 just to manage expectations. So if you're going to sell these at 400, the 6 goats at 400, how much are you getting? 2.4. So that means that in a year, you are making a markup of 200,000. Do you see what I'm saying?
That is if you're not selling to MCS. Remember, we said quality tax.
Aha.
You
That's
understand?
if you're not selling to
You sell
MCS.
to an open market.
You're selling to an open market.
Or you sold to another member. You're selling your rights out of.
You're selling your rights out of the business. Now, because also you must consider the fact that some of these goats here are young. Some of these goats here are too young. They don't make the weight to sell on the market, to sell to the abattoirs. So you're probably either going to sell 2 of them or you're going to sell their mothers, if you really want to sell anyway. That's what that's where I come in. Why? Because now if you leave these goats for another 12 months, these goats are going to become 12 goats. So if you're selling these 12 goats at 400,000, how much do you make? 4.8 million. This is in 2 years. Do you see now that it's better to sell in 2 years? If you actually want to sell. You understand? But remember, we haven't gone to his program of feeding them like they are, That's zero grazing system. They're taking up to 18 months to get the right amount of size to sell. Do you understand? So it means that the longer you stay on the farm, the longer you're going to reap from the farm. So what I'm trying to say is, don't wait next year. Don't look at what you're going to make next year. You get? You're making an investment. Look at what you can make in the long term. You get? So for any person that is joining, I would highly suggest to start from at least 4 goats. So if someone has about 10 goats, you can see their return on investment is way higher. You understand? So at the end of the day, as you think about this investment, also think about the multiplier effect. How am I multiplying my investment? And what am I multiplying anyway? Because someone who is multiplying 2 goats is not the same as someone who is multiplying 10 goats. You get? So, let me see. What else did I want to tell you before we... this is my book for the farm. And the reason...
To female goats. You understand? And that continuity in numbers is that the circle has taken your risk of you're assured you're going to get a female goat for every birth. That's not the case. There's a case where all the 6 will be male. Who takes that risk? So that's why they're telling you about collective investment. If you invest alone, you will die with your male goats. But if you invest with a circle, the risk mitigation is taken by the circle. So guys, don't miss that opportunity.
So now you see why you need to invest as a collective farm. Because if you don't, then you take that risk alone. But if you do, it means that we can use his females to female you.
But our calculation is not encouraging investors. So with any investment, you must look at long term. So she gave you a calculation of 2 goats that is discouraging to investors. You cannot invest 2 million and you expect a return of 200,000 at the end of the year. You get it, So now how does it work? This is how it works. So when you invest, first of all, you are going to start goat farming. What do you need first? To buy land. Imagine you have to first buy, let's say you want to 15 goats, you need 1 acre. You need 20 million to invest in this acre here. You get it, So you also need maybe a farmhouse for your workers of about maybe low cost, maybe 5 million. So you have invested in 25 million. Now you also need a goat structure. You get it, You also put it on the farm. You get it, So a minimum, you are going to invest about 30 million. But you are going to start with how many goats? 10. So if you start with 10, but you have invested in 30 million, when do you expect to return on investment? From 10 goats, but you have invested in 30 million. So when do you expect return on investment? This is what you should look at. This is the picture I want you to pick. You get it, You are going to start a farm. You start with buying land, putting structures on the farm, buying the goats, and the management, the workers, the street, and whatever. You get it, So when you invest, don't look at 1 year. You are getting my point. You cannot invest in 2025 and you expect to make profits in 2026. You are not an investor. Because you cannot make money from the 10 goats, the money invested in land. You get it, So whoever is investing in goats, make sure you give it at least 3 years. So I'm going to repeat Daphne's calculation. I don't have a marker. I will not write, but let us start with the minimum. The 2 goats. Here we have 2 goats. Huh? So the 2 goats, you are investing in 2.2 million, right? The 1.2 is for goats, the 2 goats, right? That is the cost. Then the 1M is management, right?
That's annual.
That is annual, yes. The annual management fee. So in 1 year, the return is, we are saying you have 6 goats. Yes. The 6 goats, that is the 2 female mothers and the 4 kids, right? So here, she was saying if...
That's also average too. But
Yeah.
chances are you can even have.
Yeah. Of course, we have what we call insurance. We have an insurance cover because we are not guaranteed that all the kids are going to survive. So let us work with this. So you have 6 goats in 1 year. So what she was saying is, if you want to sell and run away from the farm, which is highly discouraged.
Sign out.
For example, of course, okay, let's say you want to sign out, and her calculation was you are making, of course, this is times the minimum. With our breeds here, we are saying, first of all, if you went to the market, our markets, you want to buy a goat, how much do you always pay? You want a goat slaughter for your visitors? Or no, a live goat. To invest, because of course we are doing something that other people are doing, and we have seen their calculations. Of course, they are telling you can buy a goat at 700k, but for you, can you go to the market and buy it? Because for us, we are doing this not as a breeding project. It is a commercial project where we are looking at sale goat meat. So the question is, if you went to the market, can you buy a goat to slaughter at 700k? Of course, you are going to say, I want a goat of 250, 400, 300, right? So that's why the calculation comes in. If you sell all the goats, the 6 goats, let's say after 1 year, 1 to close, you are going to run away with a markup of 200k. This is not business. So I want the encouragement here is you should at least multiply for a second year. Now, when you multiply for a second year, because the first kids also will give you at least one. We take 50% now. You have the 4 kids, and we take 50%. Maybe the 2 are male, or they are not giving you kids. That's why we are saying at the end of 2 years, you have 12 goats. You get it? Now, here, 12 at 24 months, you have invested in 1 million more for management in the second year, because we already have the 2 goats and the 6 goats, but our management fee is 1 million for up to 19 goats. So you will add 1 million for management for the second year. So your total investment will be 3.2 in 2 years, but you have 12 goats. Now 12 goats at 400k, it gives you how much?
Money is all over the place.
Eh? So if you have 4.8, here you have a markup of how much? Because the total investment is 3.2.
So that's 1.6.
That is your markup. Now it makes sense. It makes some sense. Now I want you to get 1.6. Which percentage is that? You have invested in 3.2 and you have a markup of 1.6. Which percentage is that? Yes? 50%. That is 50%. That means in the last 2 years, every year you've been making 25%. There is no bank which can give you 25% return on investment, and there are few investments which can give you that. So now that's where it makes sense. Now when we got 3 years, now it will make more sense. You get it? Because from 12 goats, the first lot of return on investment, the kids, they are all now giving birth. You make more money the longer you stay on the farm. So in the 3 years, it will make for you sense. You can even earn 100% on investment. At least in the second year, you've earned 50%. Now when you divide it by 2, it means you are making 25% return on investment every year. So that's why it makes sense.
Isn't it? We are preparing for retirement. So why are you looking at 1 year, 2 years, 3 years? You imagine if you are making this, if you're making 4.8 in a period, this was 2 years? Yes. 2 years. You imagine after 10 years. Yeah? Are we together? So we are doing all these investments not for the short term. At this juncture, allow me now to invite all of you members to our signpost here. I think we are going to now go into the launch period. It is a memorable moment for all of us, more especially you, our dear investors. MCS Farms Oye! MCS Farms Oye! I wish to congratulate MCS upon this wonderful milestone. Congratulations to all you shareholders who have bought into this project and those who are yet to join us. On this very day, we wish to, with God's blessings, bless this project and launch it officially as MCS Farms 2025.